Howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all doing okay today. Oh, someone is in a way bigger hurry than me. I would laugh if that's a cop. I don't think it is. Okay, so I want to talk about something interesting that's been rolling around in my mind for a few days, and I think I finally figured out how to talk about it. One thing I've never understood is people attempting to get over on their employers and steal from them. Whether it's taking money, like working out of the cash register, taking money out of the cash register, taking money out of the safe, taking merchandise out of the store, or out of the building, whatever. I've never understood that. Give you a couple case in points of things that I've seen happen. First place I ever ran into any theft, I worked at a local convenience store, where oddly enough I was accused of theft, but had a witness that said I didn't do it. The only reason I got accused of it is I didn't print a receipt, and the manager did have it out for me, but a customer at the time was actually, and he was a regular, he'd come in on my shift all the time, and we were dead, so we're standing there talking, and then someone else comes up in the middle of our conversation. No big deal, I'll be more than happy to take care of it, but I'd bought myself a snack cake and a chocolate milk, and I forgot to print my receipt, and I got terminated for that. Volunteered to pay for it, and I got on to them. If they fired me over like $3, allegedly, and they wouldn't show the tape, which was kind of a company policy to do. So anyway, I found another job before my unemployment got denied, and they lied about all that. So anyway, but I've never understood that, because we were in that store, there were security cameras all over, out on the floor and out on the back. There was only one place that didn't have security cameras because they had recently redesigned the back room and hadn't put them in yet, which was the cigarette cage. It had a big vault in there for cases of cigarettes, and they hadn't had security cameras put in there yet. Well, had a couple people that were the rewards program for this particular store. They were committing rewards fraud. They'd get a card and scan it on customers that didn't have a rewards card to help them out, which, you save on gas or on this or on that. So, but you also got redeemable points, and that was rewards fraud. You get terminated for that. There were people that committed lottery fraud. All the tickets at our store at the time were behind the counter, sold by the cashiers. People would pull those off and try to find winners, and people got fired for that. People stole out of the registers. One time I actually had manager managed to throw some shade my way when it came to theft. We had a safe that had bill readers that would take the bills, and throughout the day you'd drop your bills into this safe under your user ID. Easy enough thing to do. Only problem with it is it didn't work on bills that were made before like the early 2000s, I think. I forget the dates on them, but the older 20s, it didn't work, and anything above that didn't work. Well, so anytime you got old bills in, which at the time happened semi-regularly, you actually had to put them in a different safe entirely and verify them, with the little you had to put them in a separate safe so it didn't read out on your everyday deposit. Well, one of the managers had seen me do that, and went back into the safe, which wasn't abnormal because, we might get change, and it was a change safe, and she'd have to load it up, and actually stole $100 out. And I got a phone call at home one day, hey, your drawer's $100 and something shy. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. So I explained that the only way I can figure that one up is someone stole my antique $100 bill out of the safe that couldn't go into the bill reader safe. Sure enough, I was right. Person ended up getting fired. They had also been busted for stealing out of the cigarette room, which was, you weren't going to get away with that for long either, because even though there was no cameras, cigarettes were counted every day, every other day, I forget. So you'd go through and you'd count every pack of cigarettes, every carton of cigarettes, every case of cigarettes. Well, this person had a case in the back that was buried, and they'd pull out of a carton and stick the carton back in. Ended up getting busted when we tried to pull that out and we were empty and the counts were off. Also had to count all the chew and the cigars and cigarillos and stuff. That was always a fun day. That was one, and she ended up getting fired for that. Seen people get fired for lottery theft. Another time that someone ended up getting in trouble, this wasn't something that I didn't know the person, I didn't actually work at the facility, but working for Ford, memos get put out all the time about things that happen. And you see all the procedures in place to prevent theft from the company. Well, this happened at a different plant, but we had found out about it. Most of the stock that comes in, they order enough of it to get through a day plus a little bit, in case any of it is defective or ends up getting misplaced. Well, anyway, there was this plant in Ohio that ended up having to shut down production early because they didn't have tire pressure monitor sensors, which are part of the valve stem in modern vehicles. And you can't put the tires on the wheels and inflate them without them. And orders had been placed for these, orders had been shipped for these, orders had been received for these, but the counts were drastically off as far as what was supposed to be on hand versus what was. Did a little digging. Someone had been stealing them. Did a little bit more digging and some internet research and found out who. Guy had been pocketing a sensor or two a day and then going on eBay and listing them for below wholesale, but everything this guy is making is 100% profit, and he's selling 100% genuine product, so he's got great reviews because it's, the factory part, and it works as it should with the tire pressure monitoring system. Well, he ended up getting in a lot of trouble, got fired, and I think he got prosecuted. But up at my building, they have security on every gate. Anytime you take an 18-wheeler through the gate, your door has to be open on the trailer so they can inspect to make sure that your empty trailer is supposed to be empty, that there's nothing in there. Like if you're taking empty crates out of the building, empty dunnage, there's nothing in there that's not supposed to be in there. They also have cameras that record the top of the trailers because people were smuggling stuff out of there on top of the trailers back in the day. Drivers would be in on it and throw it off the side of the road. People would come by and collect later. So I've just never understood trying to get one over on your employer, even if you've got a completely original idea that they've never thought of. It won't take long before they catch on. value your job.